Hello people of the internet, my name is Johnny. Welcome back to yet another exciting FNaF news video, and can you believe it, FNaF fans? We are 2 weeks away from the release of Secret of the Mimic. The next installment in the Five Nights at Freddy's game franchise is almost among us. And so in today's video, we've got a lot of brand new teasers and videos released by Steelwolf Studios to take a look at. You may have seen, but they've started a tradition called Mimic Mondays, as well as posting video teasers on Friday, though they didn't want to come up with a name for that day. So we got 4 Mimic Monday images to look at, 2 secret videos to take a look at today. And if you're excited for FNAF Secret of the Mimic, scroll down, tickle that subscribe button, because we will be streaming the release day 1, getting all the secrets, all the endings. You do not want to miss out on that, so subscribe so you don't miss it. And to kick off this video, let's start with a brand new description we got from PlayStation that says, "Fear can take any shape. Unravel the mystery behind the abandoned workshop of Murray's Costume Manor. Armed with only your wits and a few gadgets, you'll grapple with the cryptic clues while eluding the Mimic, a shape-shifting prototype endoskeleton." And this just further proves what we already know about the Mimic's role in Secret of the Mimic. They are pretty much a shape-shifting endoskeleton that will able to become any suit, wear any suit, become any character. And of course, in a setting like an abandoned costume factory, there's gonna be a lot of costumes they can inhabit, a lot of characters they can become. And now let's move on to the first teaser image for Mimic Mondays. And as you can see, it's watch your hands, limbs replaced at employee's expense. And we've got what appears to be a worker at, presumably, Edwin's company, you know, Murray's Costume Manor. And it looks like they've injured their hand. Now, I think obviously this poster is going to be in the game itself, around the factory itself, warning employees, hey, be careful, we got a lot of equipment around here, you might injure your hand, maybe even lose your hand. I have seen some theories that at some point we are going to lose our arm, very similar to how the Mimic loses their arm in Ruin. And of course, if you've read the books, in one of the stories revolving around the Mimic, they are known to rip off the limbs and body parts of the workers. So I think with this poster kind of doubling down on employees losing their limbs, losing various body parts, a lot of FNAF fans are theorizing our protagonist is probably going to get, you know, beat up a lot in this installment, probably lose their hand. Maybe we're going to get a cool robotic hand. That'd be sick. And the second teaser image is an order form from Murray's Costume Manor. It says this order form is your receipt. It guarantees that the costumes specified below are being manufactured for you. Present this order form to the front desk 3 months after your initial order date to receive your costumes. And here we can see a whole bunch of details. We're able to fill out the order date, the pickup date, the purchaser's name, body type, quantity, requested materials, requested details, special functions, 2x original fee. So honestly, a lot of these teaser images are kind of like this. Just in-universe papers or posters that don't really give us much to tease about. Obviously, with the Costume Manor making a lot of costumes, it makes a lot of sense that people are able to come in and rent or buy out various costumes for whatever reason. It's actually kind of giving me nostalgic flashbacks to Sister Location, because in the source code for Scott Games, when Scott was releasing those Sister Location teasers, we were able to find out that those Funtime animatronics were being rented out to different establishments, like Circus Baby's Pizza, you know, Chica's Party World. Like, man, this is really bringing back those memories, so it's awesome to kind of get something like that again. But yeah, not really much to speculate with this one. We kind of already could assume that people were able to buy various costumes from the manor. I feel like this really goes to show just how many different costumes are going to be around the establishment here. But 2 characters that we've already seen are featured in the next Mimic Monday teaser image. Those characters are Dolly, the new nurse animatronic, and the elephant mascot costume, who doesn't have a name. I'm just going to call him the elephant mascot. And the poster says, "Oh my, broken bits, we'll take care of them." And it's Nurse, you know, Dolly the nurse, helping repair the elephant, which, once again, if you've noticed, is missing their arm. So maybe another clue that our protagonist is going to lose their arm, lose their limb in the game. I don't know, might be a coincidence. I'd love to know your thoughts and theories. But once again, not really much to speculate with this teaser here. The nurse animatronic is obviously helping out the injured. It is interesting to note that the elephant here consists of, you know, they have an endoskeleton inside of them. So I've seen some people speculate that maybe these Costume Manor mascots are similar to Springlock costumes, where they are able to have animatronic, you know, endoskeletons in them, but then also be worn by employees, worn by workers, people. It'd be very interesting if these were like the early working concepts for Springlock suits with the game taking place in 1970. Maybe we're gonna see something like that, the early prototypes of Springlocks. I don't know, I'm really just spitballing here. I know a lot of people are really hoping to see some Spring Bonnie and Fredbear references in Secret of the Mimic, so maybe we're also gonna get our first glimpse at the origins of, again, Springlock costumes. That'd be really cool. But I'd love to know what your thoughts on this poster. I really love the art for these posters. I can't wait to see them in the game. Can't wait to see Dolly in the game as well. I mean, she looks great. And then the final teaser for Mimic Monday right now is the vacation request form. So it looks like we've got a bit of an order going on. Poster, you know, form, poster, form. So I guess this upcoming Monday, we're going to get another poster. And it says Murray's Costume Manor, vacation request form, and then a whole bunch of other details you can fill out. As per the employee handbook, weddings, including your own, and funerals are not acceptable reasons to miss work. What a terrible working condition Edwin Murray has on his employees. If you're getting married, that apparently is not an acceptable reason to miss out on work. Edwin, you evil son of a gun. But yeah, once again, not really much to talk about here. It just kind of fleshes out more the universe of the Murray Costume Manor, all the employees working there. But now let's move on to the very first MCM Archives. These are the teaser videos that Steelwool are releasing on Fridays. We have two to look at right now as I'm recording, but another one will be posted today. And this first one is titled Stay Up Latte. Let's have a look. I have already seen these. But still, they're quite short, so we're just gonna watch it together in full.
Terrible. I'm exhausted. So much to do by morning.
Very interesting art style, as you can see.
All I want to do is sleep.
What we got going on there?
Sleep when you can stay up latte.
What?
Stay up late.
No, latte. It's new. From Murray.
From Murray.
Try it.
Distinctive taste. Rich and roasted, yet creamy and sweet. Give me more.
That's
Such a weird teaser video.
the Stay Up Latte
It's a coffee machine.
A cup of coffee suited to you, based on your coffee habits.
I know what you want better than you do. I am always watching and learning. How another come, how another come.
Freaking out? What we got going on here, huh? Who's that?
Did you stay up all night?
No, I stayed up latte. After 2 full pots, I'm ready to work. Promotion, here I come.
That's the Murray's difference.
That's the Murray's difference. And that's the end of the teaser. And then it just says, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's, Secret of the Mimic. But as you can see throughout the teaser, there are a few secrets kind of hiding in the shadows. So let's go back and take a look at those. First up is this right here, MCM Film Archives. E. Murray, of course, Edwin Murray. And then a string of numbers. Not entirely sure what these numbers mean, however, very likely they are going to relate to whatever, you know, tape we find in the archives. I would imagine there are going to be some sort of collectibles like the tapes in Help Wanted or the retro CDs in Security Breach that have these tapes in Secret of the Mimic that we'll be able to play. Now, I think first up, we can notice that this very likely takes place in the Costume Manor. Not only do we see posters, which we have already seen are in the Costume Manor, but also the first kind of teaser we get appears to be these cubicles. Kind of faintly you can make out, like, this is a cubicle right here, this is a cubicle right here, you got some maybe office chairs as well, a whiteboard here, so it does look like there is a office cubicle section in the factory, right? You can kind of see the outlines a bit better over here. This box is a cubicle. This box up here is also a cubicle. And then we're introduced to one of the inventions that Edwin Murray has made, or at least Edwin's company, the Stay Up Latte coffee maker, which a lot of people took notice. Maybe a reference to coffee from the Desolate Hope, one of Scott's older games. Coffee has become kind of a Easter egg in some of the later FNaF games. In Help Wanted, they had an Easter egg. In FNaF World, they were actually a playable character. And then we get some lines from the coffee machine themselves, which are a little bit worrying, a little bit troubling.
I know what you want better than you do. I am always watching and learning. How another come, how another come, how another come, how another come.
So very similar to the Mimic themselves, and that's a pattern you're going to see in these MCM Archive videos, is that each of the inventions by Murray, each of the products in the videos kind of relate back to the Mimic. First up, we have a coffee machine that is always watching, always learning more about you, about the environment, about how to be something. And then also, as they're rambling on and on, we get a brand new look at Dolly, the brand new nurse animatronic. We saw a poster of her earlier today. Can't really see what room she's in, but we can make out the outline of her nurse's hat right here, her arm that goes into like kind of her mitten gloved hand, a bit of her skirt, her outfit is here. I really like this shot. It's giving me a lot of, honestly, FNaF 1 flashbacks to the camera shots of like regular Chica in the hallway when she's looking up at the camera. I really hope we get more shots like these because these look really good, Steel Wool. And then lastly, we kind of get like a slogan for Murray's company. That's the Murray's difference. But then that is going to be it for the first MCM Archive. Now let's move on to the second one. And once again, keep the idea of these inventions relating back to Mimic in your mind as we watch the second one. And this second one is titled Murray's Magic Coat Rack. So let's see what Murray made out of a magic coat rack, It should be a different art style as well, so keep that in mind. Same characters, though. And a baby. Oh my gosh! Pain Stan! Thank you. What's going on here? So a very abrupt end to that tape. As you can see, this one was significantly shorter than the first. But if you were paying attention, this coat rack is able to adjust its size, adjust its form to fit any size of clothing. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this one. Very similar to how the Mimic can adapt its body, adapt its endoskeleton to fit any costume. And this tape does also have a different number than the first MCM Archive. So once again, leading cadence towards the theory that we are picking up different tapes throughout the game to play these and unravel various other inventions that Murray Co. made. Now this teaser doesn't have any secret images as far as I can tell, but it does have a voice very faintly in the background saying instructions and different other phrases.
The solution is here.
Like some people there think he's saying this way.
The solution is here.
It's really hard to make out, but I think around here you can really hear them say something along the lines of, "It's got my leg."
And more.
Did you hear that? I can definitely hear the word leg, but everything else is a little hard to gather.
And more.
But again, that relates back to our limbs. What's Mimic doing with our limbs? Are they ripping and tearing apart our limbs? And then apparently there's also a scream around this part.
For you, if you're feeling down.
Maybe, just maybe, but I think the big takeaway from this tape is its ending. Right here. Where, as you can see, it says a Murray invention from Murray Co., so another reference to Murray Co. We first got that reference in 5 Laps at Freddy's, actually. On a big billboard that had, I believe it was a vacuum cleaner. And then, obviously, the voice kind of distorts as the tape burns, which we will talk about in a quick second. But shout out to Tracy, Travis Plush Productions over on Twitter, who was able to kind of make out what the distorted voice was saying. But you can kind of make out that they're saying, order, probably the Magic Coat Rack. Today, it's a Murray invention from Murray Co.
Order 7.
Kind of, you can kind of make out what they're saying. Doesn't seem like there's really any big secret in there. We already could tell from the text that it is indeed a Murray invention from Murray Co. But then the big elephant mascot costume in the room is the burning of the tape at the end, which a lot of people think is pretty big evidence that the factory is gonna burn at the end of the game, which honestly, are we even that surprised about? It's a FNaF game. I feel like a building burns in pretty much every single FNaF game. FNaF 3, Fazbear Frights burns down. FNaF 6, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place burns down. Security Bridge, the Pizzaplex burns down in one of the endings. Help Wanted 2, the, Carney's Fazro Blast area burns down. Secret of the Mimic, maybe the factory's gonna burn down. It is very interesting that they chose the tape being burnt as the ending for this installment of the archives. I don't think that's a coincidence. It's FNAF. I'm sure there's going to be some ending where the building burns. But that does it for all of our Secret of the Mimic news today. Like I said, another MCM Archive has been released. I really hope they haven't done a full-length trailer. Steelwool Studios, please don't do it. I'm pre-recording this video the day before. I'm gonna do another FNAF news video, like right before release, going over all of the final teasers, all of the final trailers before the release of the game. And then in that video, I'll talk about the final MCM Archives, the final Mimic Mondays, and hopefully pretty soon we actually can get a trailer. But that's gonna do it for today. Let me know your thoughts and theories for all the Mimic Monday teasers and MCM Archive videos in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye.